Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to our January meeting of your Louisville Town Council. So nice to have you here with us, whether you're in the audience tonight or whether you're watching at home on TV6 or streaming on louisvillenc.net. We think maybe yes, possibly yes.
Definitely Facebook.
Definitely Facebook. So any one of those three modes that you are watching us tonight, welcome. We're glad you're taking a few minutes out of your evening to be with your town government. We'll start our meeting as a customary fashion. We'll have an invocation by Bo Houff, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance by Councilman Fred Franklin. Please stand and join us if you're able.
Let us pray. God our Father, we give you thanks for this beautiful night. We give you thanks for your many blessings that you give to us each and every day. As we begin a new year, we give you thanks for endings and the blessings of the past, and we give you thanks for the opportunities of the future. We give you thanks for this town and for all those who serve it, including the staff and including the elected body. Give them wisdom, give them courage tonight as they go through the town's business. And now we ask your blessings upon this meeting and to bless us all as we return home, to keep us safe. We ask all these things in your name. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the
United States of America and to the republic for which it stands,
one nation,
under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. We'll have our customary roll call of council members.
I'm Jane Welch.
I'm David Smitherman.
Jean Marie Foster.
I'm Mike Horn.
Ken Sadler.
Good evening, Melissa Hunt.
and I'm Fred Franklin.
Good. Also, let the minutes reflect that Town Manager Hank Perkins, Town Attorney Bo Houff, Town Clerk Joyce Walker, Town Financial Manager Pam Morrell. What do I always get that? Is it Financial Manager? No. Finance Officer. I've called her Finance Director, Finance Manager, but Finance Officer is with us as well. Also want to recognize Dylan McAllister. Okay, well, welcome, Dylan. Dylan is with us tonight from Reagan High School, and he is going to be here to fulfill a civics class requirement. Welcome, Dylan. Next time you come back, bring a bunch of your folks with us. Usually we really get a lot of students here long about that first part of May who've got to fulfill the civics requirement. So the room fills up at that time. Very good. We're glad you're here. Hank, you want to lead us through our consent? I'm sorry, Ms. Walker, there's been no changes since the agenda went out?
No, can you believe it?
Surprise, surprise. So council members, with that, we'll entertain a motion to adopt the agenda.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Franklin makes the motion, and I'll try to do this by ear. Ms. Hunt makes the second?
Correct.
Okay, very good. I'll get to it. It'll catch me here sooner or later. Any discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That's our agenda for this evening. Hank, consent agenda, please.
Okay, this evening's consent agenda consists of 6 items. The first is Resolution 2020002. That's a mouthful. For the acceptance of approval of monthly financials for November 2019. Second is approval of closed session minutes from November 7th, 2019. The approval of council briefing and action minutes from December 5th, 2019. Approval of retiring council meeting minutes from December 12th, 2019. Approval of organizational meeting minutes of new council December 12th, 2019. And lastly, approval of council special meeting minutes December 16th, 2019.
Ladies and gentlemen, the consent agenda are items that routinely come before the council. There are financial records, there are minutes, occasionally there are appointment resignations, but we take this as a group. However, any council member who wishes to withdraw any one of these items from the consent agenda to discuss individually can do so. With that, council members, what's your pleasure?
Move for approval?
Second.
We're going to get there. It's going to happen. Ms. Welch makes the motion. Ms. Foster makes the second. Any further discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That's unanimous. Very good. We're at the first opportunity this evening, one of two, where residents are welcome to come forward. This is our public forum to address the council on any of those issues which are near and dear to your heart. This is our opportunity to listen to you. If there's anybody here who would like to speak, please come forward. We have one person who's signed up. Gus Preschel, come up, please. Please give us your name and also address, please.
My name is Gus Presley, and I live at 1023 Feldspar Lane here in Louisville, North Carolina. I'm as surprised as you are that I'm back to speak to you again 1 week later, but this is on a different topic, which I know you're very excited about. And last week I spoke from my heart, and this week I speak from my papers, so I hope to meet the mayor's request of 3 minutes or so. So, in any event, I'm here tonight as an individual resident and not as a member of the Clean Energy Resolutions Committee. I come with an idea for the community center, but first a brief introduction. I'm a retired engineer, did most of my professional career managing technology and a lot of energy conservation projects. I served as chairman of the Zoning Board of Adjustment in one of my prior towns. I also served on the Clemens Comprehensive Planning Committee before downsizing to Louisville. Served on a committee to put solar panels on our church in Winston-Salem. And I led a group to develop a prototype energy-efficient home for Habitat for Humanity. And I've been thinking a lot about the community center in the past week because I had the opportunity to attend the council meeting last week and hear your architect describe much about the project and your wonderful questions and direction to him for further analysis. And also I read of the project in this week's published Louisville Citizens newsletter. So I think the planned community center presents a wonderful opportunity to save the taxpayers money and educate them about the benefits of renewable energy. We can do that by installing solar panels during the initial construction or in the near future. 3 things have happened recently to make this a timely issue. First, Duke Energy just this week issued a request for a 7% rate hike. They won't get all 7, but they will get an increase, no doubt, and that changes the dynamics again. Second, the price of solar energy systems continue to plummet. And third, Louisville is interested in becoming a more sustainable community. Out of those basic concepts, I come with 2 recommendations. First, before it is too late in the design phase at the community center, ask your architect for a comprehensive analysis of the cost and benefits of solar panels. I don't think that's been done yet. The possibility exists that the net present value of future savings will exceed the cost of the system, thus saving the taxpayer dollars. If we're not at that break-even or profit-making point yet, we're sure we'll be there soon, very soon, as these price dynamics change. And you might also want to get a cost estimate from a professional installer. I'm sure they'll be happy to give you free cost estimates. Second, and building on a great idea from one of the council members, and I believe it was Mr. Franklin who suggested an analysis of getting an electric generator for the facility for a lot of good reasons, which I'll only mention briefly. But that brought an idea to mind. Ask your architect for analysis of the cost of benefits of a solar power system with battery storage instead of the generator. What's the magic here? This alternative would, instead of a backup electric generator being studied, would provide a facility to serve as an emergency command center and a refuge for citizens during extended power outages or other disasters. The cost of battery backup systems is reportedly plummeting as fast as solar panels themselves. If the time is not quite ready for that yet, it's coming soon. So let's take the steps now to put the necessary infrastructure into the building so that it's ready when the time is right. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you, Gus. Appreciate you being here. Town manager has taken notes, copious notes, of what you said, and I think we did have a beginning discussion with our architect last week about exploring the possibility of solar.
Yes.
Very good.
Thank you. You knew what I was going to ask for.
Anybody else wish to speak? Anybody else wish to address the council this evening? Very good. We do have a public hearing this evening. Ms. Walker, would you like to give us the lead-in for that, please?
Yes, we had been advised by the school system that we would need to close Dexter Road for them to do additional work at the school site. However, we have had difficulty in getting the proper information in order to place the advertisements. So at this point in time, I'm going to ask council to possibly open the public hearing and then postpone the public hearing until we can get additional information from the school system.
Any questions for Ms. Walker before we open the public hearing?
And I think I asked this question last week. We have advertised this public hearing, so that's the reason we need to open. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yep.
It was originally advertised for tonight, but they had not been able to give us the proper information.
Right. That's what I-
Very good. With that, we'll open the public hearing. Anybody wish to speak this evening on this matter? If not, council members, I'll entertain a motion to continue.
Second.
Mr. Frankel makes the motion, Ms. Foster makes the second. Any further discussion?
Continue until...
Do we have a set date?
Until such time that the information becomes available.
Can we continue until March, because we still don't know a good date from them?
Mr. Frankel, will you accept that to your
So I'll
motion?
accept that.
Ms. Foster, will you accept that?
Yes,
to your
that's
second?
fine. Yes, please.
Any further discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you very much. That public hearing is continued. An update from our briefing, council members. We did discuss the possibility of meeting with our recycling committee and having them consider taking on an expanded role to incorporate sustainability into their program of work. The manager and I met with them on Tuesday evening, had a very productive meeting. They're very excited about the opportunity. We outlined them 3 steps, at least for them to consider to start with. Number 1 is for them to take a run at redrafting their charter, to make sure that they're part of the process and not just being given a charter that we think they should have. That will come to us, I believe, as early as February is what their intention is. Yeah. And we'll get a look at it ahead of time at the briefing. Second task we asked them to consider immediately is the consideration and evaluation of the resolution that we were asked to consider. And so they'll take a look at that in the context of what they know about recycling. Hank, what are the 3 R's?
Reduce, reuse, recycle.
There we are. So that is kind of the expanded role that they're thinking about, and they'll incorporate that into the resolution. Then the third thing that we ask them to do is to begin to think long-term about how we begin to educate our residents about sustainability in their households and their personal use. Now, I mean, clearly, they will play a big role in the updating of the comprehensive plan, particularly on the section that has to do with sustainability. So all of that is a report back to you to let you know that they're making progress. I think we'll have a good report from them in February. Any questions?
Mayor, excuse me, I received information from the chair today, and they have 2 meetings set up to look at that, but the last one is not until February, and it will be after your meeting, so it may be March.
Okay. It's a little different than what we talked about, but that's okay. Whatever that we asked them to not hurry through this, to make sure that they gave it due diligence and deliberation. Great.
I just want to advise you.
Thank you. Okay, Mrs. Walker, I think you have the next 3 items under new business.
Okay, if you had an opportunity to look at on your iPads, you had the amended town meeting schedule. On that schedule, I have added your planning day, which is February 1st. And I've added a notation about the budget schedule, which is attached. It cannot be added to this because there isn't enough space. But that, too, was in your packet. And once you approve this amendment, then I will have it placed on the website so that everyone can get the amended versions.
The amendment to the town meeting schedule.
Correct.
The amendment to the town meeting schedule.
Yes,
Yep,
I'm sorry.
okay.
Any questions for Joyce? Ms. Walker, Code of Ethics?
Is somebody going to approve that for me?
Motion to,
Yes, we do need to approve that, don't we?
I'll do it. Motion to approve.
Second.
Mrs. Hunt makes the motion, Mr. Smitherman makes the second. Any further discussion?
Nope.
All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That's our meeting schedule. Thank you.
Thank you. The next item is Resolution 2020-001, approving the Louisville Town Council Code of Ethics. Council members had attended the state Code of Ethics meeting last month. This particular code is directed to the town as opposed to the state information that you received at that point in time. This is an update to the one that was approved by council in 2011. And the reason that we have not had an approval every 2 years is because we had the same council members. So having a brand-new council again, we need to make sure that you all are comfortable with it and approve it. And if you do so, at the very end, I've placed on your position a signature indicating that you have approved it, and I will place that in your ethics folder.
There haven't been any significant changes with what we've been operating under for the last couple of years?
No, sir.
Yeah, okay. Any questions for Ms. Walker?
Motion to
Motion.
approve Resolution 2020-001.
Second.
Mr. Franklin makes the motion, Ms. Hunt makes the second. Any further discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. That's unanimous. 3 and you're out, Ms. Walker.
Okay, the very last one is ordinance 2020-002, amending Chapter 16, Article 2, Item 14 of the Louisville Town Code, removing 2 items from that qualifying exemption list. We had received information that one of the groups, and let me pull out my information. Pulled out the wrong one, sorry. One of the groups was no longer affiliated. Item for Triad Sons of Italy, Lodge Number 2840, we are removing because they no longer meet the requirements to be exempted for use of the facility. And the other one to be removed is the Stained Glass Playhouse, because we have not heard from them in over 4 years. So we don't even know how to contact them anymore. And I need approval of this so that the town code can be updated.
Any questions for Ms. Walker? Entertain a motion? Okay, I think Mrs. Foster may have, Ms. Welch may have brought that in. On the motion, Mr. Franklin makes a second. Any further discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, for those of you who may not be familiar, our community center is available for use by nonprofits who basically serve a community good, and they can use a community center at no cost. Of course, all residents can use our community center for a very small, reasonable fee. But we have a list that we update every year of those organizations that we feel are doing great works in Louisville and are entitled to use our community center at no cost. Hank, upcoming events.
Okay, I'm just going to cover January. The only thing we have of note is on the 20th of January, town offices will be closed in observance of Martin Luther King Jr.'s holiday.
Very good. Okay. Manager's report, please.
And then moving forward to the manager's report, we have a reminder that council planning workshop is scheduled for Saturday, February 1st, 2020, and this will be at 8 o'clock in the morning here at Town Hall for those who are interested to attend.
Very good, and I think I've already talked to a couple of council members who would like to put something on the agenda for our discussion. If you'll pass, if anybody has any ideas that they'd like for us to put into that meeting, please contact Mrs. Walker.
I have 4 items.
Yeah, 4 ideas, great. And of course, the big bulk of the time will be spent about discussing our comprehensive plan and how we plan to move forward this year, because this is our 5-year review of that plan. So we'll start with priorities and move down the list and cover as many as we can in the time allotted. Hank, approvals at our action meeting briefing.
Yes, at our action and briefing meeting we had last week, we did have 3 items. First was ordinance 2020-003, amending budget ordinance 2019-001 in an amount of $1,168 to budget for providing decals to the, it says 148 18-gallon recycling bins. I think it's a little bit more than that.
Yeah.
It's double that amount, yes. Being purchased. Second was the approval of ordinance 2020-004, amending budget ordinance 2019-001 in an amount of $2,636 to pay for 2019 property taxes owed on donated Warren property. And then finally, we had and passed Resolution 202004, authorizing the town manager to execute the contract with Stewart Incorporated of Raleigh, North Carolina for planning audit services in an amount not to exceed $18,400.
Ladies and gentlemen, as most of you know, we have a briefing meeting the first Thursday of every month, and then we have our regular town meeting, which is the second Thursday, and that's tonight. Occasionally, we'll take action at our briefing meeting, and at that time, we spend some of your money. So we do like to report that out as our actions from last week at tonight's meeting, so it's part of your record, and you can be aware of how we've acted and appropriately acted in your best interest, I hope. Very good. Council members. Any comments, any thoughts?
One more public opportunity?
Yes,
I mean, I'm saying there's one more public opportunity.
Yes, there is.
for us.
yes there is. Unless Gus wants to get up and talk again, another 3 minutes, he's pretty good shape. No. Thank you, Mr. Franklin. This is the second opportunity, should you wish to address the council. Anybody wish to address the council, please come forward. Very good. Now, council discussions. Anything? We may have set a record tonight, I don't know.
Well,
Mayor, I'd like to bring up the fact that in the past, we've had recognition of our volunteer committees, and I thought that could be an item that we would discuss in our workshop, but I think in the past, that's been done in March, so I thought perhaps should go ahead and bring it up before 1st of February.
Ms. Welch and I had a conversation earlier this week, and she brought it to our attention that there are a number of the committee members and committee chairs that have not met you, and it would be a great opportunity for them to do that. Now, traditionally, we have done a committee volunteer appreciation event, and usually that's done the second year of a council's term. But I think appropriately, we may want to consider doing that this year, since we have a number of new council members, and it would be a great opportunity to say thank you to our committee members. We haven't done it in several years, but we welcome your thoughts. Council members?
I think it'd be a great idea.
yeah, let's talk about that a little bit more at our Saturday retreat or whatever. I mean, just idea-wise, brainstorming,
Sure.
about what we might want to do and when we might want to do it. But I'm with you, we haven't done it in a while, and we really should, and this is probably the most appropriate year to do it in.
March, we'll have our new committee chairs, so it'll be a really, really good opportunity. Ms. Walker, will you add that to our
Got it.
agenda? Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Welch, for that reminder. Yes, ma'am.
May I do a reminder for everyone who is hopefully planning to join one of those committees or boards, that if they plan on doing anything, that applications are due at the end of this month, so we can set up interviews.
Let us reemphasize that. The town operation is essential and relies on our committees and boards who are made up of volunteers of our residents. If you have a desire to serve and feel like you can make a contribution, we encourage you to check on our website, but also check with Mrs. Walker to see if there's one of our committees or boards that may be of interest for you.
It's in the newsletter, too, a nice...
And the newsletter, that's right. This last issue of the newsletter, we announced opportunities and openings. But we do need to do that post-haste because we're coming up to a point where we'll need to do interviews for some of those boards. Very good. Anything else, council?
I don't think so.
Entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Franklin makes the
Multiple
motion,
seconds.
Mr. Smitherman makes the second. Any further discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Nope.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us, those who are here in the council chambers and those who are watching at home. It's always a pleasure to have you be part of our meetings. With that, we're adjourned.